What's up guys, it's Chris here. Now you may or may not have noticed this week, but the Rand has taken an absolute nosedive off a cliff to where it is now at its lowest point ever in history. Now, this has huge implications for the currency, the country and the markets, and it's not only that because South Africa is now looking at the risk of losing its AGOA benefit, which is a huge trade agreement with the United States that poses big risks for our economy. So let's jump into exactly what is happening, why it's happening, and what it's going to mean for all of us and our money going forward. So let's jump straight into what's going on. Now the Rand has been limping along and struggling recently in general. That's because of our low growth projections for 2023, which keep being adjusted downward, and it's also very much linked to our recent bouts of load shedding and the anticipated effects this is going to have on the economy in the near future. But if the Rand was limping before, then what happened this week took the currency down altogether. You see, the US ambassador to South Africa, a man named Reuben Brigety, stood up on Thursday in front of media and stated that he was convinced that South Africa had supplied weapons and ammunition to Russia through a ship called the Lady R that was docked at the Simonstown Naval Base in Cape Town in December last year. Not only is this a huge claim and a very prominent way to announce it, but when he was asked about how accurate the US intelligence was that South Africa provided weapons to Russia, he stated that he would bet his life on it. And that was the match and the fuel that set the Rand alight this week. Just over a month ago, the Rand was sitting at around 17 Rand 70 to the dollar, and it started this week at 18 Rand 30. But after this week and the latest accusations about weaponizing Russia, it shot up in the last few days all the way to 19 Rand 35, which is the weakest the Rand has ever been in history. But not only that, it is also sitting at 24 Rand 14 to the pound and 21 Rand to the euro. But the bigger question is, why exactly does the accusation of providing weapons to Russia hit our currency so hard? Well, the answer comes down to a few things. The first is that it insinuates that South Africa might not be as non-committal to this war as it has always said that it is. The South African stance currently on the Russian war in Ukraine is that it neither supports nor condemns either side. But if that is seen to be a lie and South Africa is in fact helping Russia, then it could sour relations between us and the rest of the world, and depending on the severity and how leaders of state react, it could even come down to those countries issuing trade sanctions on South Africa in a show of support to Ukraine and against Russia, but that is very much speculation for right now. The place where it is really concerning is that this may affect our status in the AGOA. Now, the AGOA is also known as the African Growth and Opportunity Act, which very simply put is a legislation with the purpose of improving economic relations between the United States and the African region. And South Africa is one of the countries that are eligible and that is currently benefiting from increased trade with the USA under this agreement. But if it is found that South Africa is knowingly arming Russia, it is very possible that the USA could remove us from eligibility like they have done to other countries like Guinea, Madagascar and Niger in the past. And I probably don't have to explain that you do not want to be on the bad side of the biggest economy and overall trading partner in the world. The effects of being removed from the AGOA would have some real-world effects on both South Africa and its economy. So that is why in the current week we have seen the Rand sink to its lowest ever level worldwide in our history. So what's next? What happens now? How is this going to affect us? And what can we do about it? Well, when President Cyril Ramaphosa was alerted of the news, his spokesperson took to Twitter and tweeted out that the presidency has noted the reported remarks attributed to the US ambassador, and we will respond in due course. Then later, during questioning in Parliament, Ramaphosa told the nation that the matter was being looked into and there will be a full inquiry into the matter to determine the truth of what happened. And the latest update was when the Department of International Relations and Cooperation spokesperson Clayson Moyela said that the National Conventional Arms Control Committee has no record of an approved arms sale by the state to Russia related to the period or incident in question, and therefore welcomed the inquiry established by President Cyril Ramaphosa to establish the facts and role players, and if any crimes were committed, the law will take its course. So as of right now, we don't and can't know the outcome of this investigation just yet. but the direction of the rand will definitely be affected by whatever the findings are when they come out. So for now, we have to follow the news and the developments of the alleged arms deal to Russia. But still, in the immediate future, we will be dealing with a much poorer exchange rate. Now, that won't affect everyday South Africans immediately, but if these higher prices persist, it will mean the price of imports will go up, including oil, which is bought in dollars. And if you are looking to buy or send money to another currency, that will be more expensive as well. But interestingly, after an initial downward sell-off on the news, the JSE Top 40 saw a big spike on Friday morning by 2.5%. And then lastly, because we're a finance channel, what does this mean for your investments? Well, on Thursday, the markets took a tumble on the back of the news, but on Friday they made back much of their losses from the day before, so it doesn't seem to have affected the market too much, but it does mean your rands will be worth less overall on the global stage. But on the opposite side of the coin, if you have any investments or cash in other currencies, they will immediately be worth more money in rand terms. For me, I have 35,700 rands worth of dollars and 28,600 rands worth of pounds. That means that over the last year, the value of those investments just by the currency changes alone has gone up by 20% for the dollar investments and 23% for the pound investments, meaning I would have made 11,300 rand gain on those investments before any kind of gain to the share price itself. I saw a comment recently saying that I over-diversify, and that is true in some regards, but this week has shown why I choose to have multiple currency investments in many different sectors. So should anything happen to our one currency or sector or company, it won't bring down the portfolio, and in fact I can also make some gains when those others go up in value. But what do we do next? I can't really tell you now because everything is still so new and uncertain, and the findings from the inquiry into the alleged arms deal will say a lot about what happens next. Now, there are ways that you can trade this news by converting other currencies into rands for the higher price, or buying back those currencies at a lower price when and if the exchange rate goes down, and to do so at a profit. But that is assuming that the price will come back down or that it won't get worse. But like I said, to me at least, it is still very uncertain how things will play out in the days and weeks to come, and what the outcome of the inquiry will be and its effect on the rand. That's why I'm happy to just keep my portfolio as it is, to ride out the fluctuations of the rand and enjoy the higher gains I have in my dollar and pound account, at least for now, and to continue to buy into the markets and top up my shares and index funds over time, while keeping an eye out for Mr. Ramaphosa to see what the future holds for this story and our country and our rands. But guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you could just tap on that like button, I would really appreciate it. So if you want to see more market news, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Remember, it takes a bit of time to make a video, but I try to post important stuff like this on the Casual Cash Club on Patreon, where I posted this whole video script on Friday. So if you want to, you can check the link in the description. But let me know your thoughts about this last week in the comments, and until then, I'll see you guys next time, as always, on Casual Cash. Cheers.